Hello everybody and welcome back to the feature. Just get the be real done. Here we go. Here we go. How many people have we got on the stream at the moment? Yeah, there we go. We are back. Okay, so let us have a look. Let's get the settings sorted first. Okay, so who've we got starting at the back? Okay, so we've got SV after he retired, starting on the medium for Jack, soft for Matey, so he'll be looking to move forward early on. JC on the soft as well, Tepos on a medium, CMP medium for BX as well. Okay, Major on the soft, medium for Rigger, Pyro on the soft, Fitz on the soft, Tap on the medium, Leary on the medium, Ross on the medium, Sam on the medium, and Moose King on the soft. So it's nearly a 50-50 split then, soft to medium. I'm not sure really how the strategy is going to play out, but hopefully these guys do, and let's see how it does play out. So let's start on board back in 5th place with Tap as the get ready to go, and we're underway. Not a lot happening early on, they're all just filing into an order and closing up on one another as they tuck into the toe. It's amazing how quickly the field closes up, with Moose King obviously staying in the lead for the time being. I wonder if Sam will launch an early attack, because he was one of the contenders early on in the sprint race, but did obviously get shuffled to the back and out of the toe. So Sam in 2nd, Ross in 3rd, Leary in 4th, Tap is still in 5th, Fitz in 6th, Pyro 7th, Rigger 8th, Major 9th, BX in 10th, CMP 11th, Tepos in 12th, Matey in 13th, JC in 14th, and SV has managed to get past Jack. Obviously SV was one of the contenders in the sprint race, but had got sent into the Shadow Realm and retired after that, or rage quit I think is the more appropriate term for it, as we've got some shuffling going on very early, a little bit of argy-bargy as Matey shuffles down and JC takes back 13th, Tepos 12th, CMP in 11th. Now we've got some argy-bargy up here with the white team as Rigger looks for a direction to take, doesn't know which one of his teammates to follow behind. I think he will end up going behind BX and Pyro though. Is he going to let Fitzinho into that gap, I wonder? Yeah, he does. Okay, so we've got 4 white teammates in a row, but Fitzinho immediately pulls out as soon as he gets a little speed boost. So obviously possibly not quite understanding how to play the game, and trying to make a move at every single opportunity he's got as Leary pulls up behind Rigger now. Fitzinho tucking into the toe of his white teammate. Is he going to pull out immediately though? No, he's going to return the favour and nod BX on, as Ross is now in 5th, Pyro up to 4th with Tap in 3rd, Sam in 2nd, and Moose King still leading out front as Tap goes for a charge for the lead for Green Team, just getting past Sam, tucking back behind Moose King. Fair enough for the time being. Sam still in 3rd, Pyro in 4th, BX pushing him on. Oh god! And that's 2 cars out already. That is 2 cars out of the running already. That is not a good start. Another one for Ross as well. JC on his own. Oh, JC must have had an off earlier on. I didn't notice that. That's my bad. Okay, so JC had an off. Ross also had an off with Fitzinho. Let's go back and have a look at that one though. So Fitzinho's out of line here, trying to tuck himself back in, and has just got a little bit happy and sent himself in Fitz, and Ross was sort of just collateral damage there, not really making a mistake of his own. Neither really did Fitz make a mistake, but was collateral damage, and that has separated the 2 groups here, of CMP in 9th, a little bit of a way back from Leary. So Matey, Tepos and SV are going to have to work quite hard together to close up the gap. We've now got Leary in 8th, closing up on Rigger close enough to get into the tow, and we'll push Rigger along to close up to the top 6, which is Major in 6th, Sam in 5th, Tap in 3rd, BX, there we go, moving forward now, up into 3rd, with his white teammate of Pyro in 2nd, and Moose King in the lead of this race. Where is Jack? Jack on his Billy No Mates in 13th, just ahead of JC, or quite a while in front of JC, but yeah, he is sort of Billy No Mates here, isn't he? He's not really going to be able to perform the magic that he did in the sprint race. Definitely not from there anyway, but nevertheless his blue teammate Moose King has taken charge and taken over that role in controlling the lead, although possibly not doing quite as well as the job, as there is a move possibly if Pyro wanted to make it. Pyro not wanting to make it there at the moment, happy to sit in 2nd place with BX sat behind, although God, this is not faint-hearted stuff, because anything could go wrong. I can't believe real NASCAR drivers do this for a living, as we have now got really a breakaway trio at the front here, with Tap Shooter far too far back to be able to tow up, unless this entire group gets into one train and will happily work together. But to be honest, I can't really see that happening, just because of the nature of racing and competitive brains. As Major gets a little bit out of shape after contact with CMP, but survives, does lose the place. Thankfully his red teammate is going to give him a little nudge, but it's not going to be enough to sort him out for the time being. Matey in 8th, CMP 7th, Rigger in 6th, Sam in 5th, Tap in 3rd, and we've still got the same order for our leading trio at the front there. So let's have a look back through. This isn't quite as organised as the front 3 is. As you can see, the front 3, they're all very, very close together. You know, we're talking a matter of feet in between the cars, whereas in this group here, there we go. So we've got, oh, that's just ruined my entire point, as Sam fires up to the back of Tap. But yeah, there is a bit of fighting going on. Okay, so we've got the 2 red cars at the back of this train. I'm not sure where to slot into. I reckon we're going to end up with another trio of Tap, Sam and Rigger, and then a quartet at the back of CMP, Major, Matey and O'Leary. Obviously these groups at the back. There we go, so SV has managed to close up to the back of Tepos, so these 2 will now be able to do some towing with one another, and that will definitely be helpful. Jack on his Billy though, and even further back got JC on his Billy and Fitzinho, you guessed it, on his Billy. In the lead still though, we've got Moose King, Pyro in second, BX just dropping off the back of the group a little bit. There he goes, doing 65, they're doing 67. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to close that gap back up, which is a massive shame, and he's been caught by the cars behind him. So Sam and Rigger have been able to catch him up. CMP dropped off the back of that trio, but nevertheless will join them to create a quartet, followed by 3 other cars. So what, septet? I don't know. Is that the right term? Septupular? Not sure. There we go. Rigger trying to get up the inside of Sam, going over the white lines onto the apron. Sam now onto the apron, comes back on. Very lucky that he didn't collect Rigger as he did so, as Rigger's now been shuffled to the outside and Matey's going to get up inside of him, and CMP will probably follow Matey through, with Major and O'Leary not quite close enough to be able to take advantage. They're trying to close up. There we go. So that trio at the front has lost its standing as the group behind, or as they began to fight themselves a little bit. I presume we've only got a quarter tank of fuel for Moose King, who's led from start to finish, whereas if we look at Pyro, who's managed to do some fuel conserving, he's got over half a tank of fuel, BX with half a tank of fuel, Tap on half a tank of fuel, Sam on half a tank of fuel, Matey, CMP, everybody else, okay, O'Leary's a bit under, but everybody else has got over half a tank of fuel, except for Moose King out front, who is going to have to come in relatively shortly to get some more food on board, food for his car. So that obviously is not a great strategy, and that's why nobody has been trying to overtake him. Nobody wants to lead. It's like cycling with their pelotons, you know, you've got to be behind. If you're at front, you're burning through your energy, and Moose King is definitely burning through his energy. About an eighth of a fuel tank left, whilst the car behind him's got half a tank. There we go, see, Pyro could have made a move there, decided not to, and BX sticking behind Pyro. Sam on the apron, just managing to tuck himself back in before Rigger closed up too much and shut the gap. CMP's been shuffled out wide as Matey and Major get underneath him. Is he going to be able to tuck himself back in? Yes, he will. O'Leary's going to push him along, and they'll hold on to their positions for the time being, as now we have a 10-car train as Matey brushes up the inside of Sam, pushes Sam out, and that will allow Rigger to go through as well, as Major and CMP also get underneath him. That's 4 places lost for Sam, as O'Leary now comes around the outside. 5 places lost for Sam, and there we have it. A Moose King comes into the pits as he runs out of fuel. BX now taking the lead. Pyro running a very, very intelligent race, obviously not wanting to lead for 1 second. BX on slightly less fuel than Pyro at the moment. Let's see how that pans out. Tap just behind. Tap getting turned round. Tap getting turned round by Matey. He didn't mean to do that, but he's just come offline slightly. Matey's tried to tuck into that gap, and then taps trying to come back into the train and had himself turned around. It's got to be a racing incident. That's not... No one's been malicious there. That's just how the cards have fallen. And they've fallen very badly for Tap as SV now gets turned around by his teammate Tepos. It's been a terrible lap. Terrible lap for the green team. Oh God. What's happened to Jack? Oh, Jack was always at the back. Got very confused for a second. Right, so BX leads out in front of Pyro, Matey in third, Rigger fourth, Major in fifth. So we have now got a lead quartet as the top four have managed to pull away from the rest. Also, what's even more interesting is it's an all-white team lead quartet. They're going to be loving that. That's fantastic for them. Fantastic. Quarter tank for Pyro. Just about 3/8 of a tank for the three behind. So obviously the car that leads is the car that swallows petrol the fastest, as Pyro sets his personal best lap. Rigger struggling to hold on to the back of the group of white cars, but he's not really close enough to get absorbed into the train behind him. So we'll see what happens for him. Matey in third, Pyro second, BX just in front. And we've got a little train of back markers here with Fitzinio, JC and Jack, our sprint race winner, towing with one another here, about to be lapped by the leaders. Also on much slower lap time, so I think there's much more fuel saving going on in this group, although they haven't got that much more than the leaders. There you go, as Biggs closes up with two of his white teammates in tow, as Fitzinio, very feisty from a back marker and teammate to shove BX out wide as Pyro goes through to take the lead, and Matey is sort of just happy doing whatever as he pulls alongside of BX, then stays behind as they go past Jack. There you go, so Pyro JC's leading this group, with Pyro in the actual lead as Jack gets lapped. Okay, so what's going to happen here and now as they come past JC and Moose King, the blue team teammates? There we go, so they just let them go through. Very different tale for the blue team and the white team in this race, as Jack tries to hang on to the back of the group and his teammates don't quite do the same. There we go, Jack just taking off a little bit of speed before he tucks back into the train. Pyro leads. BX is just behind with slightly less fuel, and Matey is in third as the lead trio carry on with Jack a lap down following along behind them. Rigger has now been caught up by the group behind after he got dropped by his white teammates, as they catch up to his white teammate Fitz, who's a little bit lower in the order, but CMP and Major will now be just trying to close up to the back of Rigger to create that train in an attempt to catch the white trio. There you go, Major in 6th, O'Leary a lap down, but Sam not a lap down, just trying to hold on to the back of this train for the time being. Tap all out there on his Billy No Mate. Jack still tucked up in the train with the leaders. We have now had three retirements. He's shuffled Matey out of the order and moved up into 3rd in the queue. Obviously just treating it like any other competitor. I guess he is still in 9th, you know, which isn't a bad position to be in. Not quite the win that he had in the sprint, but knows he's much better off in this group than on his Billy, as now who's that? BX gets shuffled down past his white teammate and the blue team, as Jack now goes up towards the back of Pyro. Sam is coming into the pits on an empty tank. There we go, so Sam is going to be the first of the front group to come into the pit, barring of course Moose King, who led for the majority of the start. So still in the pits, but let's keep an eye on where he comes out, as Jack now takes over a place for him. But of course Jack hasn't pitted yet, so he will need to do so at some point, but is happy being in this group for the time being. It's quite funny actually here that you've got the 3 white teammates with the 3 blue teammates, both teams on separate laps, so there's no real competing going on here. They're all sort of happy to work together, I presume, as BX is now indicating that he will be pitting this lap, I presume. Yeah, there we go. So BX pulls into the pit lane. He will be the first to do so, as the Matey and Pyro won't be short after him. Let's just have a look. Okay, so got Pyro in the lead here, although perhaps maybe a better example would be to use CMP in 5th. So he's here, and Sam is... Oh gosh, so have they lost the lap? Oh no, wait, no, they haven't. What's that time difference? Right, so they've lost, what, 15 seconds on the in lap, and then 40 seconds. Yeah, so I guess you do lose a lap when you pit. Yeah, BX just confirming in the chat. Yeah, you lose a lap when you pit, pretty much. There we go. Okay. So, let's see. So we've got BX into the pits. Rigger also as well. Major comes in. CMP, are they all going to fill up all the way? Yeah, they are, because we're about halfway in. Okay, so this isn't too bad at all. Pyro and Matey still the lead 2 cars in the white team. Pyro, they're both going to come into the pits. Okay, let's see if BX can rejoin up with Matey and Pyro when they leave the pit lane. As Tap comes up towards the back of him, so this is going to help BX out, because he'll be able to tuck in behind Tap, who hasn't pitted yet. So he'll be coming in. So BX is the net leader, but we've got to wait to see where Pyro and Matey come out. Behind BX, the next best placed is Jack. Jack is also yet to pit. JC behind him yet to pit. Moose King has pitted, but obviously was one of the first to pit. as Tap now comes into the pit. So let's ride on board with BX and see where his two teammates come out. They come up, wow, about a quarter mile ahead of him. That is a big difference, and that is not going to do him much good at all. Although obviously with the speed difference, he is travelling 20 miles an hour faster, so perhaps we'll be able to just catch up onto the back of the group. I don't know what the gap is, maybe 6 or 7 tenths. It's going to be just enough to get him into the toe, I reckon. There we go, he's into Matey's toe. He's going to give Matey a little kiss up the bum and get him onto the back of Pyro, and the trio will be together again. And then the next best placed is going to be quite a while back from them, which will be Moose King in effect, but also Moose King's going to have to do another stop. CMP back here is the next best place, and obviously the white trio are just exiting turn 1 as we speak. So the white team, barring any mishaps, barring any accidental police manoeuvres, are going to take unos dos tres, which they'll be obviously very pleased about. Fitzinho though, their white teammate, not quite on the same wavelength that they are, nor is Jack, the sprint race winner, sitting not very prettily in 12th, so you think he'd feel a lot more attractive higher up the grid. Tap in 11th, JC 10th, taking a 1.5 second penalty for. That's not good at all. Is that's going to might bring Tap right up to the back of him? No, it won't. Yeah, it will. I don't know. Yeah, it will. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, that's a massive difference. Of course, because there's no braking zones, so there's no natural place to lose your... stop losing an advantage. There we go, but what an awesome job done by this trio of white cars. I mean, we're just over halfway through the race, but the race is more or less signed, sealed and delivered for these three, unless they do anything stupid, which, I mean, obviously they're all racing drivers, they've all got the potential to do stupid things. But we'll just wait and see as Matey's trying to get into the train, but Jack not wanting to let him through, so he's going to have to settle for 4th in the queue. But obviously Jack's a lap down, so it's not making a massive difference. Jack does know though that being in this queue is probably the best place he can be. We ride on board with Matey as he just closes up, slowly pulling his teammates and Jack in. And I just nudge, stay in the toe, easy business. There we go. What position are the cars? They're just coming up to lap. That's 10th and 11th. Wow. Although this will be very valuable for Jack as they close up to the two cars that he wants to get past. He'll be hoping that he goes by with unnoticed by JC and Tap, and just try and blend in, make sure they don't realise that that's actually for position until it's too late. There we go, so we've got Pyro closing up to the BX going through. Pyro's going to receive a little nudge. The Pyro does take over the lead. Jack slots in behind. BX is going to slot in behind him, and that's going to allow Matey to pull up very slowly. There we go, so Moose King in for his second stop after draining his fuel tank in his first stint. There we go. So now Pyro getting the job done on JC as BX is running outside of Jack at the moment. Pyro now getting the job done on Tap, but is going to need a little bit of help. JC tucking into his slipstream. And that will be the help that he's after. As BX now comes round the outside, is going to help. Yeah, he's going to help Pyro. Matey getting a little bit argy-bargy as Jack comes through as well, forces himself into that slot in between Matey and BX, and that is hopefully Jack sorted into that position. He's going to hope that Tap and JC haven't quite noticed that they've been leapfrogged by a non-leader as the lead trio march their way around the circuit to finish up the 30th lap of this incredibly long race, nearly 2/3 of the way through the time being. With Tap and JC have closed up to the group, and they're going to start fighting with Jack, I imagine. Obviously they're not all teammates, so won't be committed to the same cause. CMP on his Billy No Mate with Major sort of a quarter of a lap back down, but crucially with his teammate O'Leary pushing him along, so they will be trying to work together to catch up with CMP, and will do so probably with quite a respectful way of doing it. So we have got Pyro in second with the most fuel out of the white team trio. I think it is Jack of these back markers. Jack is the one that's understanding how the game works the best in terms of just get your head down and go. Try basically the path of least disruption. So sometimes you do have to make an overtake, but that's just so that you don't have to slow down too much. And when you make that overtake, you slot in, and the car behind you will pull up behind you. If we go on board with Jack now, but Tap and JC just behind, obviously don't want to give up 9th place as the leaders now close up on another lapped car, which is going to add to the fight for, or is going to, Sam, who they're closing up on, is going to be absorbed into Jack, Tap and JC's little fight here. Is that? No, it's not. Oh gosh, is that Fitz? Bloody hell, Fitz in last is being absorbed, sorry. But Sam is just about to be as well, as the lead group come past. Well, making their moves very, very late as Sam goes onto the apron, losing a little bit of control, but just managing to hold on to it for the time being. BX is now past Sam, but the Pyro and Matey are stuck behind as JC pulls alongside him. Pyro not sure which direction to go in. Who's the safer bet, JC or Sam? Who is the safer bet for Pyro at this point? He's gone with Sam, Samurais, and JC's had to tuck in behind Pyro, as Matey is now just trying to catch up, and Jack has fallen off the back of the group a little bit, so that's not what he wanted. Obviously he is in front of Tap, but he's closing up to Matey. Yeah, no, it's all going to be fine for Jack. He just needs to get himself into this group, and hopefully ahead of Samurais as they go round the second banking to close out the 33rd lap, as BX has sort of pulled away a little bit with Fatilio, the two white teammates making a little break for it, although Pyro and Sam Samurai's just catching up to them. And further back, yeah, Matey just behind JC, with Jack just behind him. But not a tight-knit group. Not a tight-knit group for the time being. So if you are Pyro in this position, how much do you want to be behind BX? Why wouldn't you want to be behind Samurais? Is it just because you don't want to be involved in any fighting with JC, Jack, and I guess his tap? Yeah, tap has been well and truly dropped. Okay, yeah. So you're Pyro. Are you just wanting to get past Samurais so that you don't get caught up in any fights and you don't get accidentally binned in a fight that isn't your fight? Because that is, wow, that's over half a lap between Matey in third and CMP in fourth. That is a really big gap. I guess the other reason why Pyro might want to be ahead of Samurais is just so that there's one more car between him and his teammate Matey, although they are teammates obviously, but they are still competing in a championship. They still want the points for second as opposed to for first, which looks will go the way of BX, as we've got just under 7 minutes to go, as BX remains tucked up behind Fitzinho, with Samurais just behind him in 7th, Pyro behind him in 2nd. Does that make sense? I guess. And Matey behind JC in 8th. Jack just holding on for the time being, but is struggling a little bit to hold on to the group. I guess maybe there's a bit of fuel saving going on there. It is BX that leads with the least fuel though, as Samurais has sort of disposed of Pyro a little bit. There's not a gap that Pyro won't be able to close without the help of some friends from behind. That sounded quite dirty actually, didn't mean it to. But it's not a gap that you won't be able to close. However, it is a bit of a gap. There we go, 65 miles an hour, and then Samurai is just dropping off the back of BX, who is tucked up very nice and cosy behind Fitzinho. And yeah, Pyro has got a little train going on behind him. Jack unable to hold on to the group. Oh, as Matey gets a little bit skewiff with JC there, but that has allowed Jack to close up. As Jack goes to the outside to take 8th place. However, he hasn't got the toe. Is he going to be able to slot in? Yes, he will be. Okay, so now the next objective is going to be to tuck into that toe with Matey. Pyro still in 2nd, still behind Samurais, who's not quite but nearly an entire lap behind, as BX still leads. Fitzinho obviously just in front of BX, helping him round, helping him save fuel. But also we've caught up Rigger, who's also about to become a lap down, as Fitzinho gets it a little bit wrong. But I presume BX is going to try and push Rigger now, as Samurais has caught Rigger up with this group, and BX is going to want to help out his white teammate. He is not going to want to let Samurais take that place from him. And if he did, technically it would be kind of his fault. Pyro in 2nd now, still, should I say. Matey in 3rd, sort of getting stuck in this battle going on between the two blue teammates. They fight over 8th place. Lads, the real fight's up there. You could get 6th if you wanted it, but seem to be fighting a little bit too heavily for the top bien. CMP still in 4th with Major just behind him actually. Wonder what the gap is. It's not a massive gap between Rigger, who's now been caught up by the leader, and Major in 5th place. So BX might be quite happy to try and help River get up to the front three. Is there enough time left? Probably not. 3 or 4 laps to go. Excuse me. As they come up to complete the 41st lap. Yeah, it's going to be 3. Oh, I don't know. The margins are quite close on that. Oh, I don't know if there is 3 or 4 laps to go. But anyway, BX still leads, followed by Pyro, who has dropped off of BX. Matey has massively dropped off. Wow. Matey's definitely dropped off. But still very safe from CMP, who's over half a lap behind. So he won't be too worried about that. Ribber in 7th. So Sunrise has managed to take the place off of Ribber, and that is arguably BX's fault. BX has taken Samurai's with him and lost his teammate a position. So that's not great. Obviously it is Ribber's fight to fight. You know, he doesn't need BX to fight it for him. However, it's obviously not ideal to have your teammate assisting your competitors. And so Ribber will be trying to get that place back, although they'll also be quite happy trying to close up to 4th and 5th. I don't know, there's no chance of them being able to do so unless Major and CMP get a little bit aggressive with one another in the next few laps, but I doubt it, as we have Samurais moving to the outside. River looking around the outside though, possibly should be going underneath, just dropping a wheel onto the apron, but doesn't do so yet, as Samurais now looks to get a move done on the leader BX, or possibly just put a car in between himself and River in 7th. Samurais though is very low on fuel. Ribber has got plenty more fuel. Is Samurai's going to have to do any fuel saving? CMP also very, very low on fuel, and they will have a couple more laps. That's a good point though. The lead group aren't going to have enough time. Ribber is going to need to try and get a move done very quickly, or move very quickly, but one or the other. You've got to pick one, because you cannot. Yeah, there we go, Ribber. Get in behind your teammate, push him. Are they going to cross the line before the clock runs out? Yes, just. Okay, but Pyro is about to cross the line to take 2nd place. Matey is going to take 3rd, JC in 8th, and so now CMP is out of fuel, and that's going to allow Major to just breeze past. CMP is out of fuel. Is Ribber past Samurais now, making a bit of a gap as well, but is Ribber going to be able to? Yeah, definitely. He's got nothing in the tank. So Ribber is going to take 5th place, and Samurai is going to follow him. No, Samurai's out of fuel as well. Samurai's out of fuel as well. Oh my gosh, I mean, at least Samurai doesn't have any more places to lose, but there we go. Ribber takes 5th place, Pyro takes the win. I mean, awesome race from this top 3 white team, and Ribber in 5th. So very, very well done by them, as Samurai's glides across the line. There we go. this is how we finished up. BX took the win. That is more what we are used to from BX. Not that whatever we saw in the sprint race. There we go. Nice win for BX. Pyro taking some excellent points in second for the white team. Matey in third. 3 white team podiums. That is going to be absolutely brilliant for them in the championship. Major in fourth as CMP, the car he was towing with, ran out of fuel, which allowed Ribber to get through as well. So Ribber takes fifth for the white team. 4 white cars in the top 5. Not too bad, not too shabby. CMP takes 6th after running out of fuel. Samurais could have taken that position off of CMP, but also run out of fuel. JC finished a lap down. And Tap in 9th. O'Leary in 10th. Jack dropping all the way down to 11th. I imagine he ran out of fuel as well in that case. Unless he had a little accident and I was too preoccupied to notice. Yes, he must have... Oh no, he had to pit again for a little splash and dash on the 41st lap. Not great for him, but it is what it is. There we go. Moose King in 12th after leading a very, very large part of the race, or at least in the opening, but not quite able to finish it off. And Fitzinio in 13th, although arguably playing a fantastic role for the white team, helping BX take that victory. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I've been Oscar X Bacon, and I look forward to next week's race. See you then.